that research. Rivers people are conversely, Rivers people are indeed complaining. Um, they had a government they yearned for, but they were denied in the midst of violence the opportunity to cast their vote. As if that's not enough. Many persons lost their lives trying to cast their votes. And after then, the government was sworn in, and Rivers people had hoped that that government will do a lot to earn credibility and, by extension, trust of Rivers people. Government has been on reverse gear, and we think that Rivers people have had enough, that we shouldn't be subjected to the kind of things we're going through now. You know, the security situation has deteriorated more. Kidnapping occurs on daily basis now.
All right, we will come to what's happening now with the government subsequently. But let's still stay with your ambition for now. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has been famously quoted, and he said it, I mean, that his ambition is not worth the blood of any.
Very true.
He was declared as loser of the election, and he said, hey, I have reasons to pursue this case in tribunal and all that, but for the sake of Nigeria, for the sake that I don't want any more bloodshed, because people may die if I come out to contest Buhari's victory. I'll gladly just allow this to slide, allow it go on. I might come back next time. All right, congratulations, Buhari. Don't you think that is an honorable path to toe, where you would say, yes, on Wike, congratulations. For the sake of peace and River State, let's allow sleeping dogs, as it were, to lie.
Thank you very much. The path of honor is the path of justice. I've been consistent on this, that you can't have peace without justice. The foundation of peace is justice. If you talk about peace outside the context of justice, you're talking about ephemeral peace. If we're going to talk about peace that will endure, the path to go is the path of justice. And what we're saying is that if we let this go, then we'll have done a great disservice to Rivers people. We will allow Nyesom Wike and his cohorts to dance on the graves of people. If we let this go, next elections, instead of people preparing to campaign, they would simply go acquire more guns and visit violence on our people. If we let this go, Rivers people will be taken for granted forever. Rivers people will not matter. What will matter is the man with the gun. Because we must stop this so that Rivers people will remain the center and focal point of government. That is why we're the tribunal. To ensure that Rivers people should be the only reason for government.
All right. That being said, are you confident that at the end of the day, that you will emerge victorious at tribunal?
I'm extremely confident that at the end of the day, we will get justice, and that means that the laws of our land will be respected, enforced for the good of all our people. And my confidence draws from three sources. The first is God Almighty, who does not support violence, who does not support hands that shed blood, and who cannot stand lies. The second one is the laws of our country. We're a country, we're a constitutional democracy. It means that our country is governed by laws. And if you act outside the context of the law, there must be consequences. And if we conducted an election that was outside the law, regulations, guidelines, acts of the National Assembly, Constitution, that election cannot stand. If an election stands, then people will not respect the rules of the game, and anybody will just do whatever he likes.
Right. But you're painting a picture on the Peterside that this issue of violence is just on the part of the PDP. But some would disagree with that notion that even your supporters in the APC also came out and they had their own forms of violence. I mean, there are cases of roads being blocked, INEC officials being chased, The APC supporters wanted to search, for the sensitive voting materials, etc., etc. So, don't you think it's faulty if you keep saying that the PDP were the only ones perpetrating violence during the elections?
Confidence interesting. Now, what you have established is that whether it's APC or PDP, that election was characterized by violence. What you're saying is that that violence was not perpetrated only by members of the PDP. Some members of APC may have participated in the violence. But the summary of what you're saying, or the what anybody can infer from what you're saying, is that there was violence. And the question is, in such a violent environment, can you conduct elections that can be said to be free and fair? That is issue for resolution.
All right, all right. But your party and the administration of Governor Mechi conducted an election on May 23, 2015, and that was a local government election. And you were saying that such an atmosphere wasn't conducive, may have not been conducive for voluntary elections. But the administration of Governor Mechi, um, through the River State Independent Electoral Commission, had those elections conducted. So, don't you think that maybe the local government elections as well should not have been conducted? Secondly, you're saying you were cheated in that race, and you've gone to tribunal. Some would say your party is not flawless as well because under your watch, under the watch of Governor Mechi of the APC, local government elections were conducted, and many people have said they didn't vote. There was no election. There was a kangaroo of an election. So I mean, you, he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. You're going to a tribunal in Abuja, but back home, election that some have said was a sham or kangaroo election was conducted for local government chairman, 22 of them, and people say, hey, where was the election held? 20 billion naira or so. Was it 20 billion? Yes, appropriated for that. How can you defend your stance and what you're at the tribunal for?
Thank you very much. I think there's so much wrong information and it's deliberate misinformation of the people. Perhaps it's better that we give the people right information, because if you don't do, then lies will begin to take root as if they were the truth. The first thing you said, if we had an environment that was characterized by violence, it would have been possible to hold local government elections. Just here, in the course of this conversation, you agree with me that part of the build up, or as part of the build up to the elections, the presidential and governorship elections, we witnessed all sorts of violent activity. People were attacked, people were killed. As at the last count, 99 persons lost their lives just before the election, or before and during the elections of March 28th and April 11th. And I challenge anybody, did any single person lose his life on the elections of the May 23rd? We're not talking about the same context. They're two different contexts. That's one. Now, two, you said, um, would it have been possible? Or is it fair, right? Is it just to budget and spend 4.5 billion? This is for 20 billion for local government elections. The River State Independent Electoral Commission, headed by Professor Ahiato, had said it severally. They spent only 1.8 billion naira for that election, nothing close to 20 billion naira. It was deliberate lies churned out to the public to smear ex-governor Amechi. The Rivers people know better. The third thing you said is the issue of Governor Amechi. You said we held sway. I don't know why you are trying to paint the picture that while Governor Amechi was governor, I was by extension governor. I wasn't governor, I was in faraway National Assembly Abuja.
All right. What I'm saying, Honorable Peterside, is this: your party has gone to the tribunal to pursue this particular case, which has to do with the River State governorship election, and of course the fact that you're saying that people's votes did not count. It wasn't a case of one man, one vote, and you were saying that there were irregularities. All right, all right. I mean, we have had violence scenarios in elections in the past, but as long as there are no irregularities and the result counts at the end of the day, I'm sure nobody can have any complaints about the outcome. So what you're in court for is to challenge the outcome based on the irregularities that transpired, be it on the part of INEC, be it on the part of election officials or secure whatever. I'm saying that the local government elections that were held in River State, some have said, were characterized by irregularities. That from the onset, that local government election was designed to lead to an APC victory. So not necessarily the violence, but the irregularities.
Can I situate the situation in context? Can I go ahead? Now, I'd like you to do this. Our contention is that there were no elections, so probably said on the 11th of April 2015 in Rivers State. In substance, there were no elections. Why do we say that? There are several reasons. One of the reasons is that the Independent Electoral Commission made it expressly clear that the only way you can be accredited is through the card reader. And that if you come to your station, your polling booth, the card reader, for one reason or the other, don't function, please repeat the next day or move the elections to the next day. They didn't provide for an alternative arrangement. That's one. Now, two is that results must be announced at the polling booth. It's not optional. It's compulsory, it's mandatory. You are not given other options. And that when you move to the ward collation center, you must announce results. First, you move to the local government collation center, the state level. That did not happen in Rivers. Three is that the contemplation of those who framed both the Electoral Act and the the guidelines pursuant to implementation of the Electoral Act expect that you present yourself in a polling booth, you will be accredited, you will cast your vote. Electoral voting is a process. It's not just coming, put your vote, it's a process. That process begins with when you present yourself, get accredited. After accreditation, it is validated. The accreditation is confirmed that you are the person who is the bearer of the card, who is registered to vote. You are allowed to cast your vote, you wait, and the votes are counted and all of that. We're saying that that didn't take place in Rivers. That rather, what happened is that our people were visited with violence. And that if we look at all of this, put this together, elections did not take place in Rivers in substance. That's totally different from the local government elections, which is governed by a different law, a law made by the State Independent Electoral Commission. Now, the local government elections were conducted in compliance with the law. If anybody feels aggrieved about the way the local government elections were conducted, you can challenge it in court. There are legal processes to challenge that election the same way we are challenging the national elections or the gubernatorial elections. We've approached the tribunal, we're challenging it, and the question is we have to wait for the verdict of the tribunal.
All right, if you'd like to join in on this conversation at this point, the lines are open. You can call in and have your say. On the Dakuku Peterside is very active. He's still as boisterous as he was during the campaign period. Call us on 084 461 923. 084 461 923. 080 9597 5764. 080 9597 5764. You can also call 080 999 14826. 080-999-14826, 0803-123-0253, or 0803-123-0254. The smart number still up and running. 08000P Nigeria info. 08000P Nigeria info. And for the ladies, otherwise we're actually gender sensitive. If the ladies cannot call the major lines because the men are elbowing them off, we have a special line for the women.
I love that.
0807 183 2977. 0807 183 2977. Let's go straight to those phone lines. Now that you've gone through. All right, welcome. Go ahead, please. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. We're listening to you.
Okay, I'm Mr. Biswaka Gabriel, calling from Kampamade.
All right, welcome.
Please, I want to ask a question. Good day, sir.
Good day, Gabriel. How are you?
Fine, sir. So you're talking about the card reader, and one of the reasons was we had to go for an election with the card reader. Do you aware that the Cardinal State and there was a time that the card reader was not functioning and people were voting directly? Are you aware?
Gabriel, I am not aware. Perhaps if you give me more information, I may have to cross-check that information, but I am absolutely sure that it didn't happen during the governorship local assembly elections. Perhaps it may have taken place during presidential elections, but certainly not during the governorship local assembly elections.
All right. Okay. We have more calls coming in. 92.3. Hello. 92.3. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Honorable.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Please, the next election in River State, after the witness of it, what happened in LM? How can, I don't know, the place to go to security agency. I witnessed when some people come for registration, then the later, after registration, they come to start the people with violence, then they took the ballot box and the election officials, the politician out. So, that election has questioned now. Thank you.
All right. Your line is really bad, and I don't think we got that question. You might want to call us back if you can. But ladies, don't forget your line is
But
08.
Kofi,
Yeah.
I tried to make some sense out of what he said.
All right.
His argument is that on a particular polling unit in Eleme, that he witnessed that after accreditation, some people came, hijacked the ballot box, and ran away with the ballot box. And so, can we say the elections in Eleme were free and fair?
All right. And he didn't necessarily say which party was behind that.
He didn't.
Yeah. So we cannot deduce as to whether because if they were free and fair, or if that was to the advantage of the APC, then the PDP should be complaining. Or if that was to the advantage of the Labour Party, then the APC and PDP and other parties can complain.
And he didn't tell us whether it was during the presidential elections or during the governorship.
Well, let's move on to another call. Then we'll come back to this local government issue. 92.3, welcome.
Hello, I'm Christopher calling from Port Harcourt.
Go ahead, Christopher.
Yeah, I want to ask the man there if he did not vote, because he's saying that there was no election. If there was any this in his word, but in my own word, he voted and everything moved peacefully. The this thing was announced right there. So he couldn't use that word that there was no election, because it's not a vote, if the election was
All right, that's an interesting take because some people have said, hey, we had this poll, people called in to answer questions. We asked how was the election in your area, and some called in and said, in my area was peaceful, nothing happened, we voted, we went home, nothing. So he's asking, why then would you say there was no election in River State?
Thank you, Christopher. Unfortunately, Christopher didn't tell us his polling unit, his ward, his local government, or his locality. And so I don't even know the area he's talking about. But I had the privilege of having agents in over 4,000 units across the state. I had the privilege of having 301 agents, 319 agents across all the wards in the state. I had agents in all the local government headquarters or coalition centers as well as the state. So I have a bigger picture. The best he can say is what happened in his unit. But I can say with some degree of authority that I have a fair idea of what happened in every unit in the state, every ward, and every local government. That's the advantage I have, which he does not have. And so, whereas I have first-hand information, he doesn't have. And it's possible that elections, in Christopher's view, took place in his unit. Now, but Christopher was not there when results were entered in the result sheets. When results were moved from his unit to the ward collation center. And he was not there to know whether result sheets changed or it was the same result sheets that were declared in his unit that was declared at the ward collation center and what happened thereafter. And so Christopher perhaps has limited information and cannot speak from the perspective of that limited information. He cannot draw an inference witnessing elections in one unit and relate it to what happened in the state.
Okay, I believe that the tribunal is sitting. Both parties will present their information to the tribunal, evidence to the tribunal, and based on that, the learned gentleman there would make the decision. And I'm sure the rest are waiting for that outcome. But I'm sure if I call your counterpart from the PDP, who's the current incumbent governor of Rivers State, you will have a different story to tell. So we can go on and on and on, but the final decision will rest with the tribunal. That being said, we're aware that the recent directive or ruling by the tribunal is that you be granted access to INEC premises um, to go through the sensitive electoral materials. Tell us, have you done that? Have you gone there? And what were your observations?
Well, the most recent directive or order of the tribunal was to reinforce an earlier order. The tribunal had granted an order earlier asking us to inspect materials, which includes photocopy the materials, scan the materials, and all of that. I hear that a friend of mine was on radio on Saturday and said the order was purely for inspection. When lawyers tell a lie, it hurts the soul of a people. The order was very express, and I don't think that's in contention anyway. So, but the tribunal reinforced its earlier order. And what was the order? Please, gentlemen of INEC, in accordance to our laws as codified in the Electoral Act, please allow the petitioner, Dr. Dakuku Peterside, inspect the materials you use for the elections, make copies, certify it for him, and all of that. We have approached INEC a number of times. It is one excuse after the other, one excuse after the other. We were there today, and they just couldn't give any cogent reason why we cannot commence inspection of material. The summary of all of this, save you all the time, Kofi, is that we have not carried out the inspection till date.
Wait, let's go back. One excuse after the other. Can you give us? Because I'm interested. I'm an inquisitive person. I like information. Um, the tribunal says go into INEC's office, go through electoral materials, be it to scan copy or to observe. What are these excuses that INEC is giving you?
First excuse is that we served their national headquarters, that we didn't serve at the state. Now, the order was directed at INEC. It didn't say INEC River State Office. Now, we had a certified true copy. We served them. When we served them in Port Harcourt, I hear a certain lady called Mrs. Gaffer said they have to wait for instruction from their national office. The same Mrs. Gaffer who said earlier we served the national office, we didn't serve the state office. Eventually, we got the national office to give the directive. After the national office gave the directive, the state office said they are aware that PDP wants to file a notice of objection to the order of the court. They have not filed anything as at that time. And so that please we should go until court resolves the 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 motion being brought by PDP. I'm saying being brought because at that time they had not filed any motion. So eventually PDP filed a motion challenging that order because that order was given behind them. The court gave them the opportunity, or the tribunal gave them the opportunity to present their case to make their arguments. After which the tribunal reinforced its earlier order, and that was just last week, Thursday. And so after the Thursday ruling or reaffirmation of the earlier order, we approached the the state INEC today. State INEC's argument is that they're still waiting for directives from their national office. Mrs. Gaffer was in court the day the tribunal reaffirmed its earlier order. The lawyers of INEC were in court, the lawyers of PDP were in court that same day. So that's exactly where we are. And then the government given several other excuses. At one time, they said, oh, we have not notified PDP. It's not our responsibility to notify PDP that we're coming for inspection.
All right. But do you have your representatives stationed at the INEC offices? Because I know that from the statements by Governor, His Excellency Governor Yesuwike, the PP has its own observer right there at the INEC office. Do you have someone who's stationed there?
We have our lawyers who report to INEC office daily.
Okay. All right. Now, what's this issue of water being poured on materials? I had it flying around town. Is there any need to do this?
There is truth in that statement, or I don't know. I don't want to call it allegation. My representative in INEC told me, and I have cause to believe, I have no reason to doubt it, that he saw them come with buckets of water poured on the ballot papers. But I think it will work against them, so I'm not bothered about that. If you say you conducted elections and people garnered 1 million votes, you are under compulsion to show the ballot papers how you got 1 million votes. And so if you decide to destroy the ballot papers, then you have to convince the court that you did you did an election that produced 1 million votes.
All right.
But
So,
it's true that they're doing everything. They are mangling the ballot papers. They are pouring water on the ballot papers. They are mixing up the ballot papers. They're exposing the ballot papers.
who is it they? Who is they? Because we have to identify. I would like to identify the day so I can ask them. I can probably call them on Nigerian phone and say, hey, come on my show and tell me, have you mangled ballot papers?
INEC officials and their collaborators
All
in
right.
the PDP.
Okay. All right. All right. We'll do some more legwork on that as we usually do. Let's go back to the phone lines. I'm still interested in this tribunal issue, because I would really like to know what the next step is if the tribunal says, I hereby order that you can go to a premises and obtain this information.
They've ordered that already.
And then the PDP says, we were not part of that. That was not behind our back, and the court gives fair ruling. Um,
Now they've been part of it. They now made legal representation and the court reinforces
Okay.
earlier order.
All right. Now, so what is the next step if I pick the call? What's the next step?
We expect that INEC will give us access to inspect the materials. That's the next logical step.
All right. Okay. All right. We'll go back to the phone lines. I'm sure that we will look for the opportunity to also hear from INEC. We'll also look for the opportunity to hear from the PDP as well, which is the interested party in this matter. So we'll fair to everybody. Personally, I'm still trying to get His Excellency on Nigerian for my show. Hopefully, that will materialize by God's grace. Let's go to another caller. Please switch off your radio set now that you've been three. Welcome. All right, go straight ahead, please.
To Dr. Peter, he said the day of election that the election went on peacefully in Okoko local government.
I didn't say that.
Local government that they had just been accredited and it voted peacefully that day. He said so. Then secondly, the issue of local government election. I was part and parcel of that local government. So the time was 17 in Ghana local government that day. We did not see material. When we get to was 17, we are asked to move out of the community therefore because somebody from the local government contested as the chairman. So the guy demanded for leadership and there was no leadership. On that note, we did not conduct election. But when we get to the lodge, to my greatest surprise, people were competing at local government lodge. I have this thing on my phone, and video it. They were completing. No result was found, but yet he said that election was credible. What makes it credible if the election was not conducted? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. Now that you've been through, welcome.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Kofi.
You're welcome. Go straight ahead, please.
Like recently, people are saying that there is no election in River State, but in my unit, in Tantamadi unit, Tantamadi, in the election we went peaceful and there is no problem.
All right, all right. So we have more people saying in their units, they had a peaceful election, but I'm sure you took some notes from the first question, so you might want to respond to that.
All right, thank you very much, Kofi, and thank you, my friend from Gokana. The chap from Gokana said that on the 23rd of May, in his unit in Ward 17, he came out to vote. He saw electoral officers, electoral officials, but that there were no result sheets. At the end of the day, he found out that they were completing somewhere, and results were eventually declared. If it is true, I'm not here to say whether it's true or not. That would be an isolated case.
All right, but he's saying that you cannot say wholly or wholesale that there were no elections because as far as he's concerned, his unit election held.
He's talking about Gokana that elections did not hold his unit in Gokana during the local government elections.
Okay, all right.
Kofi, I hope we're not going to miss it up.
No. But the first chapter first of all talked about the state elections. But go ahead.
Now the second chapter said during the elections of the 11th of April, in his own unit in Transamadi, elections took place, that he participated in elections in Transamadi. He may also be right. But again, now I want you to situate this in context. If elections took place in 10 polling units out of 4,450 units, can you validly say there were elections? Kofi, I'd like to throw this back at you.
I'm not with my calculator here, sir, but you can
No,
tell
no,
me.
no. I must 10 units.
I'm the one asking the questions.
No.
I don't have my calculator here. I can't.
No. Kofi,
my math is not good.
Kofi, I know you've got boil in your mouth, but this is very easy.
No, my mathematics is not good.
Elections took place in 10 units out of 4,450 units, can you validly, in good conscience, say there were elections?
Well, that's a rhetorical question. We'll move
It's
on.
not a rhetorical question.
I don't have a question to that, Dr. Peterside, and I will allow you to push me to the wall on this. Anyway, it's still hard facts on with the Dakuku Peterside, River State APC governorship candidate in the last election, still here in the studio, and he has said that they're still moving over their case at the tribunal. He's talked about some of the difficulties being encountered by his party in their bid to carry out the court order, mandating them to inspect election materials. Is there a point where the police might come in to execute this order?
Well, part of police responsibility is, a core police responsibility enforcement of law and order. It's an executive function, but the agency of the executive that does that is the police. And so the police has got a role to play in this, in the enforcement of court orders. And I ordinarily expect that police will do what is right.
All right. We'll be taking your Facebook messages, your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your tweets, and when we come back from the news and the commercial break, and then we'll be asking Dr. Peterside some more questions bordering on several issues. I don't let the cat out of the bag. I'll put my paper in my pocket. Stay with us. It's still hard facts on Nigeria Info, and we'll be right back. Don't you touch that dial.
Set your time on Nigeria Info, the correct time.